Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the quickest and the easiest way to make your foundation look natural and flawless looking and not like heavyweight, but to make it look lightweight, feel lightweight, and to just look like you're barely wearing anything. So the foundation that I'm going to be using today is the Dream Liquid Mousse Foundation by Maybelline. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. I think it lasts really long. Like I said, for a drugstore foundation, I have used a lot of high-end foundations as well, and I feel like I have the Giorgio Armani foundation. It's one of my favorites, and for some reason, I feel like the Maybelline lasts longer than that one, and that's a $70 foundation. So it's crazy, but I think that my technique works, and I want to share it with you guys. So in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to show you, so keep watching if you want to learn. So now that my hair is completely out of my face, the first and foremost thing that I want to tell you guys is primer is so essential to a foundation application. For me, I have really dry skin, and because I'm using the Maybelline foundation, I'm going to use the Master Prime Hydrating Primer from Maybelline. Whereas you can, if you really want to go high-end, you can use the Hangover Primer by Too Faced, which is really good for dry skin. However, if you have oily skin, you can find a primer that's gonna mattify your face and not, make the foundation look as dewy. I need it to look dewy considering that I have dry skin, especially now in the winter. So that's why I'm going to be using this today. I think that this primer is amazing, and I think it's equivalent to Hangover Primer, I want to say. So it's a dupe for it if you guys are interested. So I'm just going to put this on really quickly, and then I'll get to the foundation. So now that my primer is on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dampened wet beauty blender, which I think is the best makeup application for foundation. And I'm going to show you on the half of my face what it's like with the beauty blender, and then I'll show you the tip with the brush. And this brush I'm going to be using is the Sephora blending brush from them, which I think works great as well. So I'm going to do this side of my face with the beauty blender, the other one with the brush. So one thing I recommend when you have the beauty blender, make sure it's dampened. And if you do not dampen it, I recommend getting the Mario Badescu setting spray. It's really good. It has aloe, herbs, and rose water, and it's really good. It's good for dry skin. It's good for oily skin. It's just really good. It's like a revival for the skin. If you really want to mattify your face, for those of you who have oily skin, the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray is also really good. So you can always spray it to your beauty blender, but because it's already dampened, I'm not going to spray it. I'm just going to go straight in for you guys. And I'm just looking right here at my mirror if you're wondering why I'm looking here. So as you guys can see, I'm just going to put it all over and dab it around. And I'm going to press really hard with the beauty blender. Like, do not be afraid. Seriously, push this in if you have to. So as you guys can already see right off the bat, it's covering some of my redness. It's covering a little bit of the acne that I have, which I like. And it just looks all right, downright airbrushed, which is one technique that us girls really love, because the airbrush natural look is just something that stands out. Whereas like if you put too much and it looks like it's cakey, it's just like, well, too much. So we want it to look natural and feel lightweight. Like right now, this feels really lightweight. This foundation is really great for those of you who have dry skin or oily skin. I think it works best for both. So now I'm going to go with the other half of my face using the brush. Now, because I'm using the brush and it's not damp or anything, I'm going to use my Mario setting spray, and I'm going to spray it a little bit. And then I'm just going to plop some foundation right onto the brush. Which, like I said, I think that the powder foundation brush works really well because it doesn't absorb too much of the product and it's just easier to blend. So because I used the brush, I mean, it's more coverage with the brush, I think, than with the beauty blender, because the product gets all like absorbed into the beauty blender. It's really hard. So this one is, I can say, more full coverage. But it's so easy to blend, and it's just in my skin. So what I'm going to do, because it's already in, I'm going to take my beauty blender, and I'm just going to dab right in on top of me blending with the brush, just to kind of stick it in there to make sure that it's gonna stay like looking flawless and smooth. And there you go. So the reason I did half the brush, half the beauty blender was I just wanted to show you guys that you can pretty much do both, whichever you guys like or prefer. I think that the beauty blender works the best because it's just like you stick the product on and you're sticking it in your face, whereas with the brush, you're still putting it on, but I feel like it's a lot to blend, and then you still have to go back and put the beauty blender on it. So that's why I like the beauty blender. You can just pile on more product if you want to make it full coverage. Either way, I think works fantastic. So another thing that I wanted to tell you guys is after you're done with foundation, well, for me with the dry skin, I normally will just put on setting spray, or I will take the Maybelline powder. So because I'm using a Maybelline foundation, I'm going to show you guys the Maybelline powder. It's the Dream Wonder powder. I think this is also phenomenal. I think it's really great, and it's not drying, but it's not mattifying either. I think it works for combination skin. If you guys are interested in purchasing, it is only $10.29 at Rite Aid. But the most important thing that after you put on foundation is to set it. So you can set it with the setting spray or the powder, but because I have the powder, like I said, I'm going to use the powder to show you guys. So I'm still going to take my foundation, the brush that I use for my foundation, and I'm just going to gently like brush it off on my hand to just clean off any excess. And I'm just going to dab it right onto my face and brush it gently just to set it and make it look more natural. And so it can last longer too. After doing that, I already see that this foundation is looking flawless. Now, the way I am, I get nervous that with the powder, I will start to get a little dry, so I will spritz this over on top. As for you guys can leave it with the powder, spritz, do whatever you gotta do, but I think that this is the perfect and the most easiest and the best way to get to a flawless looking natural foundation look. So this is pretty much the quickest and easiest tip that I could show you guys, the beauty hack, I guess you can say, for a natural looking foundation application. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that this tip really helps you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and you can follow me on Instagram. I'll post the links down below at TalkWithKat. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. So make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.